The Joker is directed by The Hangover's Todd Phillips and stars Francis Conroy, Zazie Beetz, Robert De Niro, and Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. So what's the story? Arthur Fleck is a failed comedian with a history of mental illness, primarily in the form of panicked laughter in stressful situations. After one bad situation after another, the already disturbed man goes on a downward spiral, inadvertently spiking a violent clown-themed revolution against the rich and powerful. The best thing about this movie is 100% Joaquin Phoenix's performance as the Joker. Phoenix is very notorious for being very picky and selective with his scripts, so when I found out that he was attached to this movie, I knew that this was something not like your typical comic book film, and we were in for something very special. Joaquin Phoenix even went so far as to research people with mental illness, and so that laugh that you see in the movie, that is a real laughter that a lot of insane people make whenever they're nervous or stressed out. It's also worth noting that Phoenix lost 52 pounds in order to get this sort of sickly look that Arthur Fleck has in the movie. Beyond just the surface level stuff, there's also just this sense of pain behind the eyes of Arthur Fleck, and you see this man who is just slowly unraveling as a person. It's to a certain point where you no longer see this big celebrity Joaquin Phoenix. You see an unhinged man. You see the Joker. Then there's the city of Gotham, and this is the perfect example of a place that you never want to live in. The place is filthy, the apartments suck, there's violence on the street, and you can't even do your job without getting jumped by a bunch of teenagers. And the social inequality is so rampant in this city that unless you're a rich billionaire like Thomas Wayne, you're basically screwed for life. Especially if you're someone like Arthur Fleck, who can lose his health care, therefore losing his meds that keep him from going insane at any given moment. With that being said, I guess I should address the controversy surrounding this movie. Before this movie was released, many people were concerned as to whether this would inspire more mass shootings, and I honestly don't blame them for being concerned, as it seems like every other month something happens where tons of people are killed. And so I understand why people will be afraid, like, oh man, is this going to cause copycats? However, with this movie, I don't think there's anything to worry about. For one thing, you see right off the bat that Arthur Fleck is a very disturbed individual. Even before he gets screwed over by the city of Gotham time after time, you can already see that there's something wrong inside of him already. He also does things that are so evil that you can't just chalk it up to, oh, the system screwed him over. Like, no, he's already a corrupt and evil man. He just needed the right push. It's less of a story of a man trying to take on the system, and more so as a cautionary tale on just be kind to everyone you meet, because you never know what they might be going through. With that in mind, let's talk about the way violence is portrayed in this movie. Despite the movie's R rating, there isn't as much violence as you would think. It's just when violence does take place, it's portrayed in a way that's so gory and disturbing that it makes you, in a way, hate violence. This movie is much more of a psychological journey than it is a comic book film. Some of the most intense moments aren't even when Arthur Fleck is killing someone, but rather when he's just standing there with this sense of unhinged mania lurking beneath the surface. Heck, when it comes to body count, you can make an argument that the family-friendly Avengers Endgame has more violence in it than the Joker. It's just in Endgame, it's seen as something fun and something to be celebrated, whereas in Joker, it's a lot more evil and whereas with the Joker, it's something a lot more evil and sinister and something that should be avoided. With that being said, I enjoy both movies very much. I just thought that was something interesting to consider. This could very well be the best comic book film of all time that I never saw coming. It's got an Oscar-worthy performance from Joaquin Phoenix. The city of Gotham is a crap hole in the best way possible. It shows what happens when you push a man too far without ever justifying his actions. And the violence is few and far between, but real. Just as The Dark Knight, Logan, and Spider-Verse did before, this is yet another game changer for how we view comic book films. And I'm gonna give Joker a 10 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Higgs, this has been my flick, and I'll see you next time. Oh, also, one more thing. Onyx, if you're watching this, thanks for the free ticket. I really appreciate that.